James, you're an absolute nerd, but we love you nonetheless. It is going to be breaching in toward the top 8. We're going to be looking at who's going to be paving the way there. Now we are on Erangel. We've had already Liquid do nice on Miramar. 3D Max took back the crown, but now there's 2 more games to go. Rich, who do you think's got this one? Who's going to claim it? We've seen some regular names now starting to sit towards the top. Are we going to see something similar here, or can we have a whole new winner?
I think at this point, it's like for 3D Max, they're having some fun. We kind of saw it in the previous rounds where a few teams get, we'll see what happens here and bring it back.
Bring it all back to you.
Oh,
Commercial break. We're lying. We're going to talk to you anyway. Looks like there's a couple of issues. We will get that fixed up as soon as possible because you know what? We like to tease you. We are merely doing this to make James have to throw to us like that once more. We're not. I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. We are just going to wait for the server to get reset, restarted, and get back into the action as soon as possible. Just a little, you know, cheeky debate.
It's just a tester, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just testing them, make sure everyone's aware of what's going on, and they are tuning in properly.
Just waking up chat. You know what I mean? It's like poke chat. Just, you know, make them respond.
You never want to awaken the chat. Because then all the memes just ensue. I mean, there's quite a lot of Ibby memes that I see quite a lot. Ibby forehead and Jimbo ones with the glasses on is quite a good one.
Yeah, it's a solid one. What's the easiest way to get chat to spam something? What do you think? F is super easy, right? Especially with this. We're not. Again, you could prove us as to which you prefer. Cheeky little lol in chat.
Press 2 if Rory is actually Break's son.
Oh, it's probably quite true. You might have just outed him there.
Let's see how many 2s we get.
We've got a lot of Fs though. You see, once you start the F, it's hard to stop.
There you go then.
Shouldn't have slapped when I said that, should I?
No.
It's getting late.
Oh dear.
Oh, we got some 2s.
Yeah.
We got some 2s.
Okay, so he is actually his son then.
Yeah, it's confirmed. Congratulations, Papa Break.
Get home and just see Rory wanting his maintenance money. Many years.
All right, well, this is a nice time to kind of kick back and chill out. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
That's some good food at dinner.
Yeah, I was about to say,
we had
pancakes. Yeah, we went out for lunch.
Pancakes are amazing.
We could have had a chicken dinner. They do some variety of chicken, I believe, but it was lunch, so you can't. I didn't want to go too early. You know what I mean? We've got to stick true to trying.
I ate eggs as well, and
so
bacon.
I guess a form of chicken. Ish.
It's a reach, but it works.
Yeah, basically my casting.
My entire career choice.
Don't out me like this. But how are you guys doing out in chat? Obviously, we want to hear from you guys as well. How's your day going? Are you having a nice day? Is your teams picking up the wins? Is the Liquid just Zerg army just supporting them as per usual? It's literally all I see in chat as soon as they appear.
Who's your favourite member on Liquid?
Oh, that's tough. I can't do that.
You can.
No.
You can.
I shan't.
Do it.
No.
It's James, isn't it?
How do you know? No, I mean, no. I'm kidding. I'm glad you guys are having a nice time. So I was like, yeah, I'm having a right day. Thank you. See, it's nice to have some interaction. It makes me very happy. I'm very lonely.
Desperado.
They're not even in this group.
No, they're not, but we can at least start a song going.
We can. But we can talk about the game. Okay, guys, at home, do you guys want us to talk about the game or just kind of continue talking nonsense? It's up to you. You guys can pick. It is now down to Twitch chat. It's not dangerous at all. Because the thing is that we could sit here and break it down, but the desk just does that so well.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather them have that honor. We can sit here and just discuss nonsense.
There's a vicious rumour that James enjoys the sound of his own voice. It's just a vicious rumour.
You know, we would never say that was true.
No, of course.
No. Sat there at the desk going, production, please put me back on production.
I'm intrigued to see
Where's my solo shot?
As we look at these players, they appear to be still playing, so I'm wondering if this game is going to continue and we'll be jumping back in.
We might jump in. Look, we haven't heard yet. This could be the observers potentially crashing out. As soon as we know stuff, we'll let you guys know, obviously. We are in the same situation as you. We see what you see. So as soon as we get updates, we will let you know as soon as possible.
It's just no headsets have been taken off.
Yeah,
that's
and I'm seeing
thing.
people looking like they're still playing. So again, we will let you know exactly when we get the info. Or we'll just do a new podcast called Help Us Please.
If you could do a podcast on any topic, what would it be?
Drama and esports.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It'd be hours worth. Hours. I'd have no friends and never be employed, but it'd be really, really exciting.
Mine would be pictures of dogs in bee outfits.
Bee outfits?
Yeah, there's a website, what used to be called bdog.com.
No.
And it was where people would literally post pictures of their dogs in bee outfits.
I remember like a pug in like one with a little like.
Yeah, I think that's what started. I saw it in like the Metro
original
newspaper when I used to just take the bus to work.
Yeah.
Beedog.com. I don't think it's available anymore.
Yeah.
It probably got bought out by like catdog.com or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Again, if you guys are just tuning in and you do wonder what's going on and why we are talking nonsense and merely looking at the gorgeous players' faces, there was a bit of an issue on our side, so we seemingly don't have any feed on the game right now, and clearly neither do the observers. So that's being rectified as soon as possible. So don't fear. We know that you would rather see the game. We're the same. We are you, which is the surprising part. So we're just gonna wait and find out what the issue is, and hopefully we get a resolution given to us soon. What would your podcast be about again? You wanted the dogs and the bee outfits.
I mean, I was just completely spouting. If I ever actually did a real podcast...
Yeah, real one. You'd have to do it, let's say, once every 2 weeks. Oh, that's not good. Do you want me to cast off that? I will. Just, you know what? Give me one of the Liquid guys' perspectives. It is a technical issue with the observers. We have been confirmed, but just give me the POV over the shoulder of one of the Liquid guys, and then the people at home will be happy. I'm
really thinking about what a podcast would be now.
I know, I've got you started.
I've always wanted to do my own YouTube channel, so it's not a bad shout.
You can follow him on YouTube at Gingerman Does Games. Sorry, that's Kalaris' channel. But yeah, go on, cameraman. Cameraman, find Liquid. Find Liquid. Go over the shoulder, look at the screen.
Or
do it.
Look in front of Ibby and give us the Ibby forehead emote IRL.
Don't do that. No, that's not them. That's 3D Max. We like 3D Max. They've been enjoyable to watch.
They've been great so far.
It's been really fun to kind of watch go for it. I'm always happy to see someone kind of surprise us.
I like it when it's a French team as well, because we know that the French community absolutely supports its teams and players through and through. It's kind of like the Turkish teams. You love to see a region come out and really get behind its individual team and see them and go up there. So it's always good, especially the nations that we know that are really heavily, not necessarily just involved in esports, but support it so well. Especially like Turkey, when we're seeing all these football teams that are getting involved in this. Galatasaray. Is it Fenerbahce? Is it?
Oh, we've got an over-the-shoulder shot. This is what makes me happy. Can't tell who it is. Yeah, is this 3D Max? It is 3D Max. Just stay there. Stay there.
Cast it, Lauren.
Stay there. I can't. They're moving. It's very difficult. They're near Milta. They're heading down south. Going to be looking towards the early rotations. It looks like they're not in the circle. So wait, it's not going to be another Millie Island circle, is it? If they're going south from Millie base, or they're going south from Milta. Are they actually doing this? Have we actually got another Millie circle? But I guess finally in Group B.
Did you enjoy the
I
back
really
noise?
like that. Hold on, I want to see if this is... it is a Millie circle.
It is a Millie circle.
Oh, hell, my glorious close. This is Jumpty. All right. Let's go for it. They are clearly in the circle now, so this is only phase 1 kicking in. See, I like this. I like seeing the attachments. It makes me really happy. It makes me feel like I'm playing. I can pretend. This brings me joy, because I'm not that talented. This is a big split from Liquid. What on earth? They've got some very isolated players from each other. It looks like some of the Quickmath guys are already going off. You can see that in the kill feed. And at the moment, just trying to kind of control the southern compounds. Clearly, Liquid moved quick on this one. Rich, cast!
This takes me back to the days when we used to do things like this, when events didn't have like second OPs. You look, I'm actually hearing noise in the background, which suggests that something's really happened from the the coaches and so on and so forth. You can hear the excitement.
Do us a favor, right? Find us 3 teams, cameramen, and we will just go between those 3.
Hey! And we're back.
Oh, we are good. Round of applause.
So 4 players died. Let's get back onto it. 8 minutes 42, 4 players died. We've still got a fight going up in the north. We've got Quickmath, we've got Seekorg. Seekorg's gone, so we just got back on top of this one with the map stream. They were playing King of the Mountain over on Georgia Ball Hills. Then all 4 players are going to rotate. They're going to take the bridge. The western bridge is completely clear down at Prim. We've got NIP. That looks like they're going to get the boats. They'll come down from South George, probably taking a westerly swing on the boats, and we'll hit the back. Liquid have done the same, and so have FaZe Clan. I can see them all the way down. We did say time and time again, we get these teams that hit the south side of Sosnovka Island. Novo, they've already got TSM pitched up there. They're ready, but the Tab is ready to receive Liquid on the beaches.
Now, because we had Observer Jempty for a while, we know that Team Liquid are quite split up. They had a lot of individual players kind of scattered throughout the island. If I wasn't mistaken, Jempty's very far down towards the south inside those isolated compounds. So really, it's a loss. You don't want it. But I'm curious as to why Liquid was so split up here. If they've chosen to do this to keep as much territory as possible, or simply they got forced into this situation. Because the Jokers seem in a similar one themselves. They're not kind of compressed as much as you'd expect. But all that aside, they will be looking for what they can get. It looks like Winstrike have found themselves a little bit of a water drop. Joker's catching one of the Liquid guys out in the open. Samty's got moves. Nade going to come out though, and there's one to follow if they require it. Samty could be in danger here. This is going to follow up, and it's going to bounce. It finds him. Great nade from Deez. That's going to do really well and cause Liquid so many issues. Jeans is looking to try and... That's a scary peak to have. I think Deez just realized that. Does not want to extend too far, as Stellar are being engaged upon as well.
A couple of big fraggers will hit the floor. Rustamar also goes down. Fwago finds him from 3D. Max Kaz out in the open will... I say out in the open. He's got a ledge to his left-hand side, getting his heels back up while signaling the rest of Stella off to try and do something to the Finns. They rock upon the boats and hit the beach lines. TSM, Gustav, beginning a hit in the deck. Down he goes. Mexi finds him. Confirms the 1 point goes their way. Tab does confirm James in that little hut in the fight previously and instas him.
That's big. Yeah, I don't know what's happened here. We don't have much context. That's the thing. So hopefully in the interview we can maybe find out with some of these players what's gone on, because TSM are in severe danger. Michael and Rory just getting yanked out of the car. Not going to get past for us, who are actually sitting in a very good spot now. Up in 7th as it stood. I don't know if they've got previous points from potentially picking up early kills. I don't think they did. But again, for them, this is good. That's going to create a little bit more space at that very close middle table area. But as I said, let's kind of catch up on things here, Rich. Take us through what we're seeing at the moment.
So I think from, we'll ignore the preview and we'll just kind of talk off the map. There are a lot of teams. This is a very central slide circle. 1, 2, 3, G2, IG, NLT. They're all inside the actual military base itself. So Sosnovka, very condensed. We've got Stella up on the aerial. Tower looking down above. 3D Max will be taking the eastern bridge. Zen are setting up a roadblock on the western bridge because they've still got players out in the blue. That's going to be Quickmath. ENCE, they've yet to land on Sosnovka. They're still above Milta, so they are quite far back. And the reason they're probably staying back is, one, they loot far away, furthest than anybody, perpendicular to this circle. But more importantly, they might just bide their time and let everybody else get out of the way, free the bridge up, and not give them any problems when they arrive. All the way down on the southern side of Sosnovka, Winstrike, last ones to hit the beaches. FaZe Clan, they're up on the hillside just towards to the right. Wookie Bookie, last man standing for TSM. Good God, they're in a hell of a lot of trouble when they are what are we, around 12th place? Live standings on your left, so you can actually see them. FaZe Clan have dropped out of that top 8 zone and down to 10th. For us will be the next challenge.
FaZe, this is big. This is a big loss for them. Down in 10th, they needed a big game, Rich. This is what was said on the desk prior to all those issues happening. Let's refresh your memories. FaZe needed a good performance and a good placement to push themselves higher. Currently sitting in 10th is not good enough for them. They have to pull something out of this. And they're in a good spot for it too. You can imagine if they had all their players alive, if they didn't just get picked off like that, everything would be looking quite nice for them. Quickmath finally make it into the current zone, or at least with 2 of their players. And again, if you are just tuning in, we did have some issues at the start, so we're playing catch up like you guys at home. So we're just kind of keeping up with what has been happening thus far.
3D Max has been a cruel beast of its own. They are staring down the eastern bridge. ENCE is about to make its push across. And I think they could be in a hell of a lot of trouble. Speaking of trouble, that vehicle is smoking. One player from Quickmath hits the deck. They have to dive out because they know it's going up. It doesn't matter. Vehicle goes up in smoke. They lose 2 on transfer. They had some difficulties earlier on in the north. One's left standing on the bridge. Misa, Enzo, Lenzo does get across. But here comes ENCE. They try to get across. And the roadblock, the French barrier is there.
Oh.
2 will fall in transition. Squeaky flying off the back. Mikaz confirmed. So they got across, Lauren, but it wasn't without refuge. Only 1 player remaining, and that's Trefeli.
Yeah, rough for ENCE coming in so late. We're seeing such a different way of playing out this military-based circle in comparison to Group A and Group B. So much more action on gatekeeping this one out. A lot of teams putting a lot of pressure on that. We saw the likes of Raise Your Edge, who are playing up in Yasnaya, for example, in Group A, able to get away with these later kind of plays in off the blue. Not the case in this group, it seems. A lot more punishment in that aspect. And Wookie. Wookie could not hide away. Stella, I think it's Moleman. Yes, it is Moleman laying down the fire towards him. Very uncomfortable for TSM as they are down to so few players.
That correct could be good for him. We're talking about survivability. I mean, it's going to be a ballsy move to go out into the open and get it. Nope, he's dead. Oh no, this puts so much pressure on TSM for the final game. There were 12 coming into this one with 48 points. How many kills they got, I don't know. Speaking
ENCE.
of difficulty, ENCE bye-bye. They were 5th, so quite safe, but still, that middle pack from ENCE's position, 59 all the way down for 52. That's in 10th for FaZe. It's a very tough middle pack, to be honest with you. This final game is going to be a hell of a lot of pressure for some of these Pro League teams, because remember, this is supposed to be the more difficult of the groups.
Absolutely. You're spot on with that. Now we are seeing the remainders of Quickmath make their way in. With the likes of ENCE going down and potentially some of the other teams could be in danger who are within that kind of top 5 current position. If they go down, it does open it up. I think 3D Max are very much safe. Team Liquid are safe. NIP on the verge of being safe. But if you see a big performance from the likes of G2, Zoekt and Naam, Winstrike, they could really start shuffling around there and creating space. Stellar are definitely looking for something here. Zoekt and Naam is fighting tooth and claw for this one as well. They're trying to solidify their place currently in 8th position. With a pickup towards NIP, that is very good for them.
I'm intrigued to see where this next circle goes. Because if it goes down towards south, I'm feeling one of those military runway endings where you've got the wall of the runway that runs just behind the broken down planes, the graveyard. It does kind of move away from that. So the hillside where FaZe are, that'll be theirs. They can take that unless Winstrike steps in and pushes them out of it, essentially. NIP need to make a maneuver on this one as well. The Jokers, they could sit back and trap themselves in the corner if they really wanted to, use the graveyard or the planes for cover. All of Zoekt and Naam need to come through this. They'll hit the runway almost in the center, but NLT and G2 are set up in the apartment blocks and the police station, so it'll be a hell of a gauntlet to get through over on the actual military itself. 3D Max can sit in the north, however, for how much time will be a different question. Jokers are overextending their arms reach here, all the way to the opposing side of the bunkers. If Diaz gets this one and pushes him out, this is a really good play from them because they've almost got center of the circle.
It could be pretty
They can run the wall.
impressive.
They can get the cards and run the wall as a defensive side. That's not good, though. If one of them gets him now and get him back up, use the smokes. Oh, saying that, I didn't realize Winstrike have actually pushed on the cliff face.
Yeah. Winstrike could be a huge threat now as well. They're going to be gatekeeping FaZe Clan too, or what remains of them, the 2 remaining players. You've got Uber there and 8C, and they're going to hear these shots. Winstrike haven't been particularly subtle or quiet, so that's going to be an interesting issue. NIP, what is this plan? Straight up the runway they go, taking off into the ground more than anything. What was that plan from them?
I think at this time in the game, when all these players are there, you just got to go for it, get in the vehicle and hold W, hope for the best. Unfortunately, it doesn't pan out. The runway will be the end of them. Car goes up in smoke and last 2 players remaining. Might have been nicer to try and separate them and leave one crawling in the back lines as a bit of an insurance policy. However, they do both commit to it. Another commitment comes out of Quickmath. Misa, 1 person standing, which must be Enzo Lenzo, who's taking the opposing side of 3D Max to try and get into it. You can just see him teetering in the edge here, but G2 are waiting in the apartment blocks, and this could be the end of Quickmath.
It could be, but it's only 2 of G2, so it's not all of them. Breaks to coat. That's a untick nade, so it's more to just ward him away, force him off the stairs, give him a second or 2, than actually kill him at this point. Obviously, that'd be the ideal. Now, for us in the southeast, are starting to push in towards Winstrike, and FaZe could capitalize on this timing potentially. You are seeing Silencio trying to work their way around, but it's hard to keep tabs on players. They don't know how many are in this situation. Oh, this is huge. This is a lot of information. And they're going to have to take these shots soon enough. They can't just wait. They do need to find their way in, but they want to try and find that perfect second here. But has he been spotted? It looks like Jorski's starting to check towards that deeper side, but it's going to have to be right about now. They've managed to get Lazar in. Now they need to unleash fury on him. Actually does get down Jorski. That's big. Actually, it's Apocalypse doing that work, but it's all for the same cause. Now they can start moving forward. They need to take down Winstrike 1 by 1. They can't even leave 1 standing.
There's going to be a split push here, Lauren. There's 2 different angles, so Winstrike will focus fire towards the players that are coming off the eastern front. Meanwhile, down south, Apocalypse and Shakesy will go down. All this has been going on. The Demon in the rough, Aitzi and Uber. FaZe are really slowly in the back lines, working their way towards this fight. Yeah, they're going to be creeping their way up, but they don't want to get engaged until you see some more knocks coming in. Potentially that nade is big. Dixu's in trouble. The damage comes in. Nuki's nade does find one of the players on the other side, though, so there's 3 standing for us. And if you take casualties here, you're going to bleed out because the blue is on your back, forcing you forward. FaZe now finally get into the battle. That's Uber coming into the matter. But look at this, Apocalypse right there in amongst of all of it. You've got a player to your left. Teme's pushed up. What an aggressive play from Winstrike. Completely caught off guard. Did not expect it. Winstrike wipe out the 3 players who are taking that battle. Lazar's still alive, but he's on the run. And now FaZe Clan pick up where they left off. It's time for them to strike. They're going to go forward towards Winstrike, ironically. They know they're damaged. They know they're going to be bleeding at the wayside. However, they will force this one back. They'll take a kill. So at least nab a point before they move off of this. Moment, it's a dangerous time to be pulling up to a vehicle and almost knocking yourself off that one, but nevertheless makes it work. Steals the level 3 out of the crate and off he goes. 4 us, Lazar. Last man standing, opts to go back and try and work his way around the back of the bunker base, I want to say. This is the only place he really can go. There's a little shack there. And after that, there's not really too much because it's out in the open. FaZe Clan and Winstrike. This will be the battle for the hillside for these two teams, which is really upsetting as well. Once these have had this fight and it's over and done with, running down that hillside with IG sat on top of the main bunker, all the furthest south against the wall, basically kill these guys. These, once they've done here, they're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Uber has got a vehicle, so at least there's a chance they could potentially use that one down the line if they want to just try and fly in there. 3D Max finally comes in from the north. They were playing quite far up in the north, and they've just kind of crashed into this. They did take down some of the players on the way, so they've had to fight for this territory. It's certainly not been for free. G2 can potentially see this. One of the remainders from Quickmath can potentially see this. And then you have Northern Lights sitting in the center.
Final rotations come through. G2 have just got a little bit of a reposition. Zoekt and Naam have moved towards the missile silos. IG have got a split one. Gone from the air traffic control room all the way across the runway to the opposing side of the bunker. And this is what I mentioned about FaZe Clan now. IG haven't been reactive to this. They didn't stand on top of the bunker. They kept their head in. So they won't be able to see FaZe Clan turning up here. I'd see pulling up the vehicle. This is amazing from FaZe. Like, all these players now should have been dead. Using the vehicle for cover to pull it up on the back of that bunker basically just wedges them in and allows them. Winstrike go down. We mentioned they were the only ones.
Oh man, let's go.
The opposing side. I'm very impressed. FaZe with 2 players to get into this circle alive is outstanding work.
Yeah, they had to do it. They had to get away from the other teams who were left there. Winstrike, you were kind of in that awkward stalemate. They got in the vehicle and just went for it. You had to do it at that point. It was well timed on the blue. It kind of forces your hand. Sure, down the line, they probably won't make it much further, but they could jump position. Now, Northern Lights finally getting some attention here as well. We do see a couple of shots coming around. It does look as though Zoekt and Naam still being alive here with those Kar 98s, those M24s are really going to start picking away at the Northern Lights team. Enemy Lord is on the receiving end of that one, so over-peaked a little bit, but Braxico is going walkabouts here. He's isolated from his team. They're on the other side. They're over by the kind of one building that's on the northern side of the road coming out of the military base. So he's getting quite close to this one. He could be a real pain for 3D Max here. And keep your eyes on Quickmath and Silencio. He's doing somewhat similar, nade in hand. He's pushing up on this. Is he trying to make an isolated play on his own? This is just one of those awkward battles going for the entire time. Nice nade. It doesn't get the damage he'd want, but he's being a real pain here.
IG and ATC are going to be just such a pivotal focus point for Zen. Literally just a tower surrounded by glass. They'll be able to look outside the window. The push comes through. FaZe, they need to react to this one, though, because all of a sudden, the circle doesn't go their favors. However, IG have repositioned outside of the bunker they were in, so they might be able to dip inside, but for the simple fact of how many teams are looking over here, it's going to be problematic. They need the smokes to be able to build a wall and crawl in.
They're moving. G2 are trying to move up on this. They know they need to get past 3D Max. Now, Braxico's gone in front of them. That's really good positioning. FaZe Clan just have to send it at some point. For now, they can readjust slightly. Zoekt and Naam got in the vehicles, got moving. It did not go well for them. They're running into one of the teams already set up here. Braxico did find Wago. That's a big loss for 3D Max. This trade comes out. FaZe have finally joined in. They are further away. They've got eyes across the field, picking up the kills that were started by the others. They are benefiting off the back of this. With Quickmath confirming onto Wago, now they know there's other players nearby. So 3D Max are in danger here. G2 took the timing correctly in the north. They've moved further down. If you look at Sela, they control the east. Excellent positioning from them. And Northern Lights, because they had that hard cover, have yet to be fully challenged here. They were able to get that revive, and they're back sitting pretty. But Hendrick's position is good. The spray is better. Braxico goes down a little bit, losing judgment there maybe. But the kill didn't get stolen. He did claim it. Kane gets surprised. Around the corner, and Silencio strikes. And Quickmath stay alive with this one-man band. And there goes 3D Max.
Bit of a feels bad man for G2. They got claimed and wiped up by 2 different teams. Udia, last man standing. Needs to find Enzo Lenzo. He has to be forced into this engagement as well because he's outside of the white. Enzo's just on the opposing side. Excuse me, Udia. NLT will be able to read this like a book, though. Keep 2 up front and 2 to the western side of the main police station building, or the warehouses, should I say. Stella's been a bit of an interesting one in this point because they are completely split on the eastern side of this. They've taken 2 bunkers and 1 broken hillside. IG, good position from them. Polar opposite ends of the map, of the circle, by the way. So no matter where this circle shift goes, IG is going to be in an absolutely rock-solid position.
Yeah, this is big from teams. If you look at the current standings, 10th to 13th, these teams need points. This is where they can jump up. You're looking at Stellar to do so. FaZe Clan holding on as late as they can. G2 have gone down. That could have been big for them, but it does manage to slip away slightly. So that's a bit of a loss. That could have been good to see them kind of push themselves further. They are up in 6th, so they're relatively safe. But beyond that, I say relatively because we're yet to see what happens in this fight. With 5 teams left standing, your eyes go towards FaZe and Stellar, who are the ones who can push higher. Zoekt and Naam have done well to chip away towards 5 as well.
I love it how you touched on them all. Stellar, NLT, and InsideGames still within reaching distance in that 8th spot. FaZe Clan, the survivability has been fantastic. They've made it back into the top 8 for now. 1 game remaining. Remember, this isn't over just yet. There will be focus fire coming towards them because teams are setting up. The only way they survive this is if Stellar and IG go toe-to-toe. They are teetering on the edge of one another, just on that rock face on the opposing side of basically where FaZe need to get in. They do have 2 vehicles. I mean, it would be an absolute ballsy and brazen maneuver, but I think that's all that's left. They could essentially go to the crate, park both vehicles up side by side, and then use it to hunker down and just pray that the circle would go their way, or they could do something, because right now they basically have to run an open gauntlet. But you're right, with how many players are looking in there, I very doubt.
They got smokes though, Rich. I want to see if they've got utility. I mean, they need to just put the smokes down and then just try and run it, right? That's a one bet. They've just got to try and find the weirdest, most wonderful route, and here we go. They've decided to try and stay away from Stellar, but their sight's still on them. We do see one of the players going down from Zoekt and Naam. This opens it up slightly. FaZe on the run, on the move. Have they made it? We don't know yet. We've switched over to InsideGames. Oh, they've gone down. There they go. Swept aside by Northern Lights. I thought for a second they could have made that slightly. There was a couple of seconds it could have potentially happened. But indeed, it is over for them now as we look towards the last 3 teams, all sitting from 11, 12, and 13. A huge matchup for these players now.
Good effort from FaZe. I mean, he hung out the side of the window, to be fair, and he actually hit one of the players in the head, so he forced it back. But it was a simple fact that IG have split their utility and resources. They have players on polar opposite ends of this circle, so they're covering so much ground, and that essentially put them in the ground, because if Senix wasn't there in that aerial traffic control tower, then it would have been laughing. Still talking about that fight that could kick off at any second. Stellar versus IG, battle for the rockside bunkers. NLT will be forced out of warehouses very soon. That's huge, and also a bit of a misplay, in my opinion, from Senix. Why bother going outside of a defensive hole that you're in?
Yeah, playing mistakes. They're potentially looking to try and help out his teammates here, because they're going to be looking at options, because they've got the entirety of Stellar on top now. Northern Lights hold a lot of cards here. They have great ground to run up from. They have a nice little bit of positioning to work from. They still have hard cover, as do, I guess, Stellar and IG to a smaller, lesser amount. It is going to keep forcing them closer and closer and closer. But for now, this is a stalemate. Until they have to move, it's a stalemate. You might see a knock. You might see a pick from maybe a Kar 98 or an M24. But I don't see that many up for these guys. I see SKSs. I see minis. So I don't know how many of these picks we're going to actually have coming through until they're forced out of these positions.
If Stellar or NLT win this, they instantly jump into the top 8.
The one thing I really want to see, if we could observe, is the utility either of these teams have left, because that could be a big difference maker here. If you have smokes to allow yourself towards the middle, that could maybe open up, not this circle, it's the one after that worries me.
If Stellar can make it, or put a player towards that wall just in the north, and you have those 2 like oil drums, that'd be a good angle to be holding it. Wait, how did Stellar get that kill when they were knocked by NLT? Did they steal that? Did they come around the corner and get stolen?
Maybe.
Oh, that's dangerous. One of the players looks like he's getting a vehicle and may actually go towards those oil drums, what I suggested.
We'll give them cover he can find.
Different line of sight, more importantly.
That's literally it. It's that looking for another couple of options. Car's gone, that's fine. That wasn't the point here. I'm just hoping he's got him close enough. That's huge from Mole Man. That's given him an angle to move up if he needs to. He might have to try and run now. I don't know if he's got other eyes towards him. I think they do. I think the car kind of fell a little short, obviously.
I think there's enough of a gap though, right? To be able to make it, if that's where he wants to go anywhere.
No smokes on Mole Man. That's what I wanted to see here, the utility on either side. He's going to have to fight his way through it. That's good tags again. He's getting really good tags on this, but he's going to have to create enough room. He's denied that line of sight. He's going for it. This is brave from Mole Man. He knows that he's got a second or 2 to move up, hit the deck. He's made it forward. Really good stuff from him. This is going to come down to just a fair old fight. I want to see it from Northern Lights' perspective, what they have to run to, because I don't think there's much. This is open field sort of terrain now.
The issue is IG. They've yet to make their play. It's who they go after first. They look across you'd assume they'd look across at NLT because they're going to be coming out of the buildings and into their line of sight. So if they hold this,
just vert nade?
I'm wondering if that's what they're doing up and over.
He just vert naded, look at jump away.
60 actually got knocked because of the zone. He was forced back on this one.
So much damage. The vert nades have worked. Look, he
Oh
goes
my
up
God.
again. This is
Oh
huge.
my God.
Oh, run, boys, run. You can't get away. The vert nades come out, and it's actually delivered. IG out of nowhere, finding everything they needed. That is excellence from them, but now the explosion begins. This could be the steals coming in. Jump away does go to Northern Lights for the points, but look at Quizzy. Really nice approach, but he doesn't expect Molman to be there. Maybe Molman can still do something, maybe not. Quizzy taking the advantage that's in front of him, sprays into the smoke and hopes. Pixel on the other side though. There's still 2 players standing for this team. Molman takes his opportunity and it goes to waste. Stella is eliminated. We're down to 2 teams, down to 1 man on IG. He fights the best fight he can, but it's Northern Lights to claim the game.
NLT picking up a win when it mattered most. 13th position coming into this one, so the 10 points for the win plus the kills will pay massively